Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we are back with another brand new Dino Dream release. We just not long ago had the young Tyrannosaurus, the juvenile T-Rex. Now we've already got the Raptor on the window out from Dino Dream, which is very exciting, again, just to have quite a few releases from Dino Dream kind of dropping continuously. I love these products. I think they're some of the coolest when it comes to Jurassic Park dioramas that we've ever had. And as you can see, this time we are replicating a scene from the Lost World Jurassic Park, which you can very clearly see. If you don't recognize the scene straight away by the Lost World Jurassic Park logo up there, we can also kind of see the side over here of Ian Malcolm, as again, this is recreating the scene nearing the I guess, near the end or like the middle of the Lost World Jurassic Park, where Ian is basically trying to evade this raptor as it attempts to kill him, of course. And this is the moment where the raptor kind of jumps right up into the window and is about to, again, try to take down Ian. So it looks very cool. Definitely a really fun diorama to have created by Dino Dream, but also look at that artwork. That artwork is fantastic as always. Down here you can see again Raptor on the window, Dino Dream 1/15 scale. Over here on the other side you've got the Lost World Jurassic Park logo, and then here on the back again just a few more shots of the statue and everything of the model, and basically saying that this is based on a scan of the 1/5 scale prop model and is a 1/15 scale statue produced under the authorization of Universal Studios. So you can see again everything looks really nice as always, but I'm very excited to check this out, so let's pop the box open and do just that. So as always, we've got some fun stuff included. First of all is the card, and just like you probably noticed on the front of the box, there is a limited edition number associated on the front of the box, but also here stamped onto the card, you can see this is 251 of the production run. You've got the same artwork that we have on the front of the box, and then again Dino Dream on the back of the card, and as you can see it's actually in a nice plastic slip so it stays nice and safe. Also contained within, we've got a little baggie here with some broken glass that I think we are meant to kind of, obviously not real broken glass, but we're meant to just lay around on the diorama to kind of recreate the scene again. And we've got two different parts of the base. You can see you've got the ground area down here, and then you've also got the window, of course, that you want to put together. And it looks like, yes, there's a curved in there, curved out, so I actually have it facing the right way. So we'll just slide that in, and there we go. Now it is complete. It actually feels like, yes, there's a magnet in there, so that's pretty cool. So it does attach with a magnet, which means it stays in there nice and stable, which is a huge plus, honestly. I wasn't quite sure how that was going to work. And then, of course, the star of the show would be our Velociraptor, and there is our Tiger Striped Lost World Jurassic Park Velociraptor in all of its glory as I smack that thing back there with the tail, the windows. And yeah, I must say that is a darn nice looking raptor. That is really quite nice. Of course, the sculpt is fantastic. Dino Dream has released many different raptors at this point in their line, but again, so I'm always confident that the sculpts are going to be fantastic, but the paint apps on this one actually look pretty nice as well. I'm really excited about the way that they've kind of blended all of these oranges and yellows, especially on the legs. I think it looks really cool. Definitely very nicely done. But again, we will apply all of this to the base, get a look at the final product here once we take a closer look. So if we do that, you can see starting here in the head sculpt of the Raptor, we've got all sorts of variation of color. We also have a pretty strong dark wash here in the face, at least on the upper jaw. The lower jaw seems to be painted over with like a dry brushing of like a light white, and that has kind of run up into the upper jaw as well, but you can see a dark wash also within the upper jaw. You can see some slight little hints of some oranges down here on the lower jaw, as well as oranges basically around the eye area, moving up into yellows as you move up into the snout of the Raptor, which looks really cool. We can also see our Raptor is sculpted with its mouth in an open position, so we've got the teeth in there, and the teeth look really nice. They have a genuine sharp look to them. They're also painted quite nicely. We can see the tongue sticking up there, as I believe the Raptor is letting out a vocalization at this point in time. You can see pretty much the same thing again over here as far as the coloration sculpt. Everything looks pretty much the same. You can see the nostrils sculpted out, also highlighted again thanks to that dark tone. The eyes are painted really nicely, actually. If we get nice and close, you can see the eyes actually have quite a bit of variation of color to them. And then, of course, that slit-like pupil, and it also has a gloss coat over it, so it shines really quite nicely. And up on the top of the head, you can see we have that brown kind of leading down and then striping out along the, there we go, along the top of the head, which also looks pretty cool. As we move back into the neck, you can see the oranges and yellows really begin to pick up as we lead back here, and they become extremely vibrant. And you can see they've done a very good job of adding in quite a bit of variation to those colors. It looks like we've got at least 2 different shades of oranges, and then of course the yellow, and that transitions down to this white tone for the underside. And they've applied it really nicely where you can kind of still see color kind of within all of the creases of the neck, like maybe like a tan or a light brown sort of creeping through there, which also looks quite nice. We can see a little bit of kind of hanging skin here almost on the underside of the neck and throat of our raptor. And then of course we have all of that striping moving down along the back of the body here, running down through the back of the neck all the way down into the body, again giving it that tiger striped look. You've also got smaller kind of stripes leading down as well. As we lead down into the body, seems like my camera is really not enjoying the tones of color. Maybe it's just too bright, I don't know. You can see again, we've got the arms sculpted quite nicely. You can see as you lead down, we have those very nice long Jurassic Park Velociraptor arms. We have a little bit more of that patterning moving down, as well as more variations of oranges and yellows leading down. The arms are held into the body, again kind of recreating the scene, the positioning of the raptor in that scene. We can also see a dry brushing of a darker tone moving down through those scoots on the fingers, and then of course the nails, which are painted with a nice glossy black. The undersides of the hands also have that kind of white tone like we have moving along the underbelly of our raptor. But as you lead back, you can kind of make out the rib cage. You can see some skin kind of like wrinkling right there. Of course, the arms and legs are kind of held close together because the raptor is slightly crouched as it's about to kind of lunge in on Ian Malcolm again. So you kind of see the positioning reflected here or you see the scene, I should say, reflected in the positioning of the raptor. Moving down along the back, you can kind of see like some scoots following along the back, some very small scoots. Again, more variations of the oranges and stuff and the yellows as we move along. We can kind of make out the hip bone right there. As you move down, the muscle definition is shining, but again, not overly defined. You can see it in the calf muscle as well as the knee right there. Pretty nice looking skin texture. We've got quite a bit of creasing as we move down when it comes to the skin leading down, but again, variation of color here galore basically as you move down the legs. This is the one area that I really quite like on this raptor, as we've got again quite a bit of different variations of yellows and oranges, as well as the dark browns kind of striping through, and I think it looks super cool. You can see it lead all the way down through the shin and then down into the foot sculpt. And as you lead into the foot sculpt, we'll see if we can get close with my camera not freaking out about it. You can see how really high quality the fine detail is on that foot sculpt. The nice scoots moving down, as well as again the dry brushing over top of a lot of the scales, even in the toes, but also running down the scoots of the toes. You can also see again that black paint used for the nails, the nice satin shine that it has, as well as our peg where we will attach this to the base. And yes, there are dew claws, which we can see, which are also painted. We continue to see that white moving along the underside, but there's actually a pinkish tone in there as well, which you can really see here on the underside of the raptor, which I love, actually. That's a very nice, subtle addition to the coloration of the raptor. And then as we move back out, we've got a nice curve to the tail as you lead out. Pretty elegant looking curve, honestly. And then again, we have all of the different variations of oranges, yellows, the whites, even the pinkish tones showing up on the underside, as well as, of course, that very cool Lost World Jurassic Park Velociraptor patterning, giving it that tiger striped look. And if we take a look at the opposing side, for the most part, it's going to look pretty similar, except the raptor is now kind of looking away from us. It also has its head tilted, causing that, again, really cool but kind of menacing look. Did not focus at all on it right there, but definitely looking really nice. I think the dark wash might actually be even a little bit stronger on this side of the face compared to the initial side. But as you lead down again, you're going to see pretty close to the same thing as far as the overall appearance to the Raptor, and of course the same coloration. You've got the arm held a little bit further back because we can kind of see a little bit of the stomach over on that side, less over here because the Raptor is kind of turned and sort of tilted in that direction. But you can see the paintwork of the legs again looks really nice. We even see like a different variation of orange kind of striping up from the back of the thigh, which is really cool. Very smooth transitions back and forth between colors. We can again see that absolutely gorgeous Jurassic Park style Velociraptor foot sculpt right there, again with the nails, and then we lead back up into the tail again as we lead out with that very cool curve. So the Raptor is honestly gorgeous. I really like that Raptor, and again, I am a huge fan of the Lost World Tiger Striped Raptors, so definitely loving every minute of this one. But as you lead up here into the base, you can see the base does have the Lost World Jurassic Park logo right there. You can also see again some pretty nice coloration down here for the base, as well as what appears to maybe be like a wash kind of applied to really give it a very realistic look. And you see the same as you move up here into the window, and the texturing looks extremely realistic and honestly fantastic. And you can even see like application of paint here that kind of gives it a weathering sort of a look, because of course at this point, you know, this area has been abandoned for quite some time. But of course that also shows you that this is the inside here. Here is the outside where the Raptor kind of jumps from, and again is coming into the building to kind of come after Ian. But you can see the outside here shows off the wood and everything here on the side, and I love the fact that that as well is quite weathered, looking like it's definitely, you know, seen better days for sure. But the paintwork again is extremely realistic in that area. You've also got like some grass and stuff out here, just some earthy area out here on the outside, and even variation of color to the earthy area as well. And I love as you move up into the actual window, first of all, you can see the window sill is as realistic as everything else when it comes to the sculpt. You can almost even see like dried mud kind of splattered up here, like maybe the Raptors have been jumping in and out of here for a while, including kind of like claw marks, which you can see very clearly showing that these Raptors have actually been in and out of this area for quite some time. You could see again some slash marks, just small claw marks here and there. But I love the fact that Dino Dream has actually painted those out to elaborate that fact. That's a very cool, very small touch. But even down here in the corner of the window, we see a broken piece of glass right there. So it's not just the broken glass that they give you that is included. You can see again another part right there. And then of course we have the underside, which states Dino Dream Raptor on the window, 251 out of 999. So that shows you that this is a pretty small limited edition number in the grand scheme of things. Again, basically 1,000. And then you've got the broken glass here, which I don't think really warrants much of a closer look. It looks cool because it kind of looks like that as well as weathered, though. It looks kind of muddy and dirty, which I really love, adding even more realism to the scene. But of course, I will sprinkle this on when we are completely finished and we are at the final product, again, with the little bit of extra footage I basically put at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get this Raptor on. I'm not sure how to get it on here, and I'm kind of far away from the camera, so I'm going to bring this up closer to me just because I feel like I'm having a hard time really seeing what I'm doing from this far back. It'll be much easier from this point. So there we go. We now have our Raptor into the base, and look at how awesome that is. Honestly, all I need is an Ian Malcolm over here, and the scene is definitely complete. But that is gorgeous. The actual final product is far and away, in my opinion, one of the coolest Dino Dream models we've seen so far. I should, now that I'm thinking about it, should have measured this Raptor while it was not on the base, but for a length, you're looking at right around 10 inches, maybe, I was gonna say maybe a hair under, but about 10 inches or around 25.5 centimeters. And then for a height, obviously, if we were to measure the height of the Raptor itself, we wouldn't have had much of a height because it is kind of crouched. So we'll go for a height to the top of the base, to the top of the window. You were looking at about 7¼ inches or around 18.5 roughly centimeters. For a size comparison, there is Mr. Papo T-Rex, the Attack Pack Colovosaurus, Robert Muldoon in the Collect A human being next to our Dino Dream Raptor on the window, and you can see it's got a pretty decent size. But honestly, we have reviewed many Jurassic Park Velociraptors from Dino Dream previously, so at this point I would like to think you've got a pretty good idea of the size of the Raptor. But if not, for another comparison, There is the Mattel Velociraptor and Dilophosaurus next to the Dino Dream Raptor, and you can see that the Dino Dream Velociraptor is roughly in the same size as a Mattel Velociraptor, except it has way better proportions, no doubt about that. Again, showing you, though, that if you do have a Mattel Velociraptor, you're going to have pretty close to a good idea of the size of the Dino Dream version. And for one final comparison, we also have the older version of the Dino Dream Lost World Jurassic Park Velociraptor next to the newer one, showing you just how the company has evolved in at least the Lost World Jurassic Park Velociraptors, but also showing you that there is another version out. This is actually, I believe, the original version, which was released a long time ago, and then obviously the newest version, which has a much cooler diorama added to it. So if you do have the older one, obviously you can see the newer one is the same size, just a little bit different as far as the positioning goes. So this brand new Dino Dream Raptor on the window, again the Lost World Jurassic Park Tiger Striped Velociraptor, is gorgeous. I absolutely love this diorama. The sculpt on the Raptor is fantastic. As always, when it comes to the Dino Dream releases, I feel like you'll never find more accurate Raptors, honestly more accurate Jurassic Park dinosaurs than you find with the Dino Dream products, because as always you get model with a lot of research that has gone into it and a lot of time spent kind of making sure that they capture every aspect of the original version of the dinosaur. Again, as far as the sculpt goes, they're most times kind of replicated from the SWS data, which means that they really can't get any more accurate than that, but definitely a very nice looking sculpt with lots of really impressive, very vibrant detail throughout. You also have really nice paint apps on this, again giving us that classic Tiger Striped Velociraptor look, which I think looks great here. Definitely a very nice looking paint job on this Raptor. And on top of that, you've got a very cool scene that it recreates with the window, again the broken glass and everything, and all the little bits of realism like slight mud splatters and stuff throughout, just making sure that it looks as perfect to the scene as it gets, and also really quite realistic and lifelike. So overall, this is an awesome release, but just like with usual Dino Dream products, this is a limited edition, so if you are interested in getting one into your collection, make sure you grab it as soon as possible. And of course, I will include a link in the description to where you can do that from Lana Time Shop, because that is exactly where I purchased mine. So make sure you check that link, go grab this Raptor, and like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.